Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This morning I have the pleasure of introducing an amazing young man and our first student speaker, Grant Schwartz. When you look up the word gentleman in the dictionary, you will see Grant Schwartz's name there as part of the definition. Well, not really, because let's face it, nobody has dictionaries anymore. But the reason that Grant's name should be there is because he embodies what a gentleman is. He's deferential, kind, honorable, polite, earnest, honest, and mature beyond his years. Grant is a diligent and hardworking student whose wheels are always spinning. He has a genuine love for learning, and he's up to any challenge given him. Grant is reflexive and analytical in his thinking, answering the so what questions and digging below the surface of facts to understand the covert intentions of humans. While Grant's academic and co-curricular activities do shed light on his interests and his personality, it is always his character and demeanor that his teachers refer to when asked about Grant. One of his teachers said this about Grant: Grant is perhaps one of the most cerebral, kind, and equitable individuals I've had the pleasure of engaging with. What struck me most about Grant is his ability to lead his peers with logic and respect. Grant understands mediation and values all humans. Therefore, he's always a trusted voice in balancing communication of his peers' desires with my own in our work around community engagement. The teacher goes on to say that Grant has a commendable ability to listen with integrity, to sympathize, to critically analyze, and to challenge those around him with a compassionate spirit. He is respectful in all his interactions. Grant is simply a person who promotes equity in his community and in his friendships with his peers. Grant has a remarkable social consciousness for someone so young. He's a role model for his peers by doing what he can, no matter how small, to try to make our world a better place. Last year, Grant spent an entire day at JFK volunteering with lawyers who were offering free legal help to people who were being detained upon arrival. In his studio art class, he made a sign in Arabic that read, "Free legal help." Once he arrived for the 5 a.m. shift, he tracked online flights for people who were arriving that might have potential immigration issues so that lawyers could be dispatched to the arrival areas to meet them. He created spreadsheets and filters to help others do the tracking as well, and was instrumental in getting volunteers onto collaboration software to help coordinate assistance by terminal. While Grant is determined to make the world a better place, he is also modest. He takes no joy in showing off his good deeds. He is simply thoughtful and concerned about real issues. There's also a fun side to Grant, and he has a sense of humor. He played the bass in our strings program during his 6th and 7th grade, but opted to give drama a try this year. Perhaps this switch was sparked by his portrayal of Wyatt Brady, complete with a Southern accent. Wyatt was a rancher from Dakota, Nebraska, who was arguing the rancher's point of view about what should be done to improve the Missouri River's water quality. Most Science 7 biome presentations are far less entertaining. I've seen Grant's public speaking and acting abilities, as well as his leadership, shine in other ways too. In a History 7 simulation as Senator Greenberg from Oregon, working to pass legislation on the congressional floor, and as Secretary of State during the executive branch simulation, where he tried to persuade the president to use diplomacy instead of military action. There's no surprise there. I've seen him in his drama class, invested in playing his characters authentically, even when he portrayed a fresh out of the oven breadstick. Grant has demonstrated his leadership on the middle school football field and as captain of this year's winning Shot Heard Round the World debate team. But perhaps my favorite and most heartwarming representation of Grant was his performance in this year's Student Council Talent Show. Grant took a song written and played by an 80s hard rock, hair-swinging band, Guns N' Roses, and he played it on the acoustic guitar. Who knew that Sweet Child of Mine could actually sound sweet? But it is this playful, lighthearted, stepping out of his comfort zone side of Grant that makes me smile. What makes me proud to see how very much he has grown during his 3 years of middle school. Grant makes it cool to be kind, to be curious, and to share his social conscience with us all. It's been my pleasure being Grant's 7th grade dean, giving me the opportunity to know this true gentleman. And it's my pleasure to welcome him to the stage right now.
Thank you, Ms. Schultz, for such a great introduction. Seriously. You know, it's funny. As I was walking up here today, I couldn't help but think how we're all connected. We're here, we're all connected to Riverdale and the Riverdale community. We're all here to celebrate a big moment. We're here surrounded by friends and family, and none of us have any idea what I'm going to say. Okay. Seriously though, before we dive into the speech, I'd like to announce that I'll be using hashtags to more effectively communicate with the graduates. Hashtag, you're welcome. First, I want to send a huge thanks to everyone who has done so much to support our education. Friends, family, faculty, administrators, and the entire Riverdale community. And for all their invaluable guidance over the years, a special shout out to YouTube, Wikipedia, and Google. Thank you for your love and support in making today a special day for the entire RCS class of 2022. This is a big moment and marks a big achievement, but also a time to consider how things will change for us next year. Change is a part of growth, and we all need to embrace change. For example, one of the first lessons my parents taught me as a young kid was to never get in a stranger's car. Now, it's the complete opposite. When I need to go somewhere, they tell me to push an app on my phone, wait for a random stranger to pick me up, and then pay them an absurd amount of money. So, let's embrace the change that is in our future. But before we talk about the future, let's reflect on the past. And as I was thinking about our journey, I couldn't help but think of an appropriate metaphor: running a marathon. The most important thing in marathon running has nothing to do with race day. It's all about the training. And middle school at Riverdale has been the most exciting and best training a person could ask for. We've been so lucky since we've had the best coaches and trainers one could hope for in the Riverdale faculty and staff, right alongside our parents and, of course, our tutors. Kidding, Mr. Six. Hashtag kidding, not kidding. We are really fortunate, and I think I can speak for the entire class when I say thank you to our awesome middle school teachers and staff. Training isn't always easy or fun, and we've seen our fair share of challenging drills, walkouts, protests, detentions, assessments we were not fully prepared for, tackling our first set of exams, and of course, worst of all, the slime prohibition, shortages of Ritz crackers, and Chromebooks falling apart inexplicably in our hands. And yet, despite the training regimen, which has been challenging for all of us at different times and in different ways, believe it or not, here we stand, together, prepared to start the race. Now, with the starting line in sight, we stretch, and we acknowledge the effort it took to get here. Unlike all prepared marathon runners, yeah, we apply a couple small pieces of tape to prevent our nipples from chafing. This year's Boston Marathon had over 500,000 fans watching, even in terrible weather. It was rainy, windy, and 55 degrees when the race was run. Talk to any marathon runner, especially in those conditions, and they will tell you that it's the fans that get them through the race. Well, we know we have our fans too. Our parents, siblings, deans, and advisors will all be there to cheer us on every step of the way, just as they have during middle school. Fans believe in you, even when you have your own doubts. So remember that no matter what happens, we will be cheered on every step of the way. But even with the best training and a ton of fans to cheer us on, there will also definitely be some challenges during the race. Just like tough marathon conditions, high school will be tough at times, and we will all experience challenges along the way. But that's okay, because challenges help us to grow and learn. And as Riverdale middle schoolers, we understand challenges, not always feeling like we fit in, balancing rigorous academics with our social and extracurricular demands, figuring out how to manage our newfound independence, and of course, some other truly painful examples come to mind. Landing in Aspen with only a foot of fresh snow on the slopes. Uber surge pricing just because of a few lousy raindrops. Or not winning the iPad during the bat mitzvah dance contest despite our awesome dance moves. Hashtag joking not joking. We've experienced many challenges, but more importantly, we have learned how to persevere through them. And in the words of Kelly Clarkson, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. This year, the first American woman in 33 years won the Boston Marathon. And this was her 6th time running the race. Desiree Linden didn't give up. She persevered. My grandfather once told me, success is often the result of taking a misstep in the right direction. This resonated with me, and I think it's an extraordinary message for rising high schoolers. If Riverdale has taught me anything, it's to not be afraid to fail. And so I challenge each and every one of us to not be afraid to screw up, but more importantly, learn from those valuable mistakes. And we will most certainly have more challenges as we move through high school and beyond. Just like marathon runners who hit the notorious marathon wall, the wave of fatigue that usually sets in around mile 20, but then power through to the finish, we will all find an exhilaration and a deep sense of accomplishment and pride on the other side. I'm told that a lot of people who run marathons do it because they feel a sense of shared goals and community with the other runners in the race, constantly cheering each other on, providing support to one another, especially at the tough times. This year's female winner of the Boston Marathon actually stopped and waited while her friend went to the bathroom, thus losing precious time. At Riverdale, we are a strong community that supports one another. I've seen this time and time again over the last 3 years. And I know we will continue to support each other, and will also welcome new members to the community in high school. Community is instilled during our time at middle school, with community service as an integral part of our experience, and something we all do for the right reasons, at least if we want our yearbooks at the end of the year. Hashtag extorting good behavior. The saying, "It's the journey, not the destination," seems incredibly appropriate. Now that we are ready to run, remember to enjoy yourselves and relish every moment, because we've been given an amazing gift by being able to go to school at Riverdale. We should remember to be grateful every day. Just look around at this amazing environment where we are fortunate to learn every day. An amazing campus with a brand new gym and pool. The only thing missing is a new helipad to accommodate all of our helicopter parents. Hashtag, we wouldn't want it any other way. Hashtag, not sure about that. We've had an incredible 3 years in middle school, made great friends and great memories. For those leaving, we all wish you the best of luck. And for the rest of you, I couldn't think of a group of people I'd rather run this race with. See you at the finish line.